What's up, Hippo lovers? I think everything should be said, and we are ready to go with Talk of the Empires. With me, nearly zero empires, very shy today, and with Nicov, our special guest. How are you doing, Zach?
Hey Nilly, I wasn't feeling that hyped, but your intro just hyped me up. I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready for Talk of the Empire. I'm excited. And I'm excited to have Nicov here as well. Hopefully he is there.
Yeah, I am as well.
Ah,
Nice
sweet
opportunity
stuff.
to talk a bit. Yeah.
Okay, then we have a long list of stuff we need to talk about. First of all, we will talk about Nicov, then against AM, Hidden Cup ECL, and last but not least, NAC2. We have to remember, guys, to not spoil anything for the upcoming ECL and Hidden Cup, especially towards you, Nicov.
I have
And
to take care of myself.
yeah, okay. And yeah, we will just start to talk. Nicov, maybe you tell us something about you, and we don't know that much. What are you doing in life? What are you up to?
Well, I'm 26 years old. I'm living in the main city of Buenos Aires, Argentina. And I was actually studying veterinary medicine. I quit like 1 month ago. And I'm planning to start over, but I'm still not sure what to do. So next year will be a big change for me. So I really have to start over next year, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Or December at least.
I can't up Nicov more. I downed myself a bit so that you can increase the whole volume. I have everything at the maximum
It's
at the moment.
200% right now. It should be fine.
Okay. I can't increase it anywhere. It's so weird. I wouldn't really know what to do.
Probably gonna get closer to the microphone. I don't know. I don't want to break your ears either. So
Okay, pretty weird. Let's just keep it this way. And yeah, so can you talk about some of your living plans, maybe? Or is that secret? I should have asked you before that.
what living plans?
Are you going to live in Argentina next year?
Oh, well, I still don't know what I'm gonna do next year. So I say I might move out of Argentina, and by the half of the next year, like Sean or Chile. I don't know yet. I know that where probably in Europe or United States. I still don't know because I want to study with somewhere else. Kind of down here.
What
Okay.
what
So
do
it's
you
like a big change.
dream
I don't
what
know
do you
if I will
dream of doing in life?
Well, like I say, I planning to study veterinary for many years, but it kind of lost the passion for that. And gonna start over, I still have to think what I'm gonna study actually. So it's some months to relax a bit, slow down, and think about it. I still don't have things clear at the moment. But yeah,
Okay.
like to study and work soon, do what things, and I don't know, a change in my life.
And does that leave lots of time for Age of Empires?
Yeah, well, I would not have much time anymore for playing. I would still try to have fun time by time. I don't know if I will be actually able to play at high level next year. I still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I change a lot next month, so I can't say anything at the moment.
Okay. But you are still planning to like compete on the very high level, or is there a chance that you will quit it altogether?
Well, it depends on whether I can keep my shape or not. If I feel I'm playing very bad, I won't bother playing tournaments anymore. I will just play for fun. If I feel that I'm only lacking speed, I will train some days before a tournament and try to make it.
Okay.
And what motivates you right now in Age of
Eh,
Empires?
Well, ECL, of course, even though we kind of a bad start at the moment with all 3 events. We are still motivated for that. We want to make it far and try to make it to the land next year. And also, of course, Nili's apartment cup is super motivating for me. I was actually planning to
Is that so?
slow down a bit and play a bit less, but this cup is it's forcing me to play more again. So it's your fault, Nili.
Okay. Well, I will take that.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
start practicing a lot next month. From now on,
Okay.
actually.
Sweet, sweet. So maybe we'll talk about a bit of NAC. It was kind of hard, MBL and Leary, and then they added you as the fourth person. How did that come? How happy are you with your team at the moment?
I'm very happy with my team. We have a lot of fun, fun together every time we play, especially when you are on TeamSpeak. And we usually troll each other, no matter we win or we lose in rated games. And in tournaments, it's completely different. We take it serious. We don't show, don't do anything stupid. It's just play serious and focus and only talk what's necessary.
Okay, how is the mood? Like when we, as the casual viewers, tune in, you're insulting each other a lot, and there's a lot of like flaming. But is anyone bothered by that for of you, or is that like pure fun and a sensitive mind like me won't understand that?
Where was it? I don't remember.
Okay.
Sometimes I have some like we yell at each other, especially me and her, because we don't have much patience, both of us. So it's kind of easy to clash. But this is usually all good after 5 minutes. It's like I don't know when you play football 5 versus 5 in real life and you get mad at someone. Then after some minutes, it's all good. I cool down very easily. But
Okay.
we leave it there. Nothing happens after that.
Okay. And
Okay.
if hard is that impatient, like you will just leave it at that. Are the others taking it that easy as well? I know that like MBL is a very like tempered guy as well.
We never discuss with MBL much, other than strategies and asking him not to do some YOLO stuff because he loves doing that stuff. But usually we don't argue much with each other. That's a lie. We just trolling when we are streaming because we know people's watching and they enjoy that the trolling and I don't know it's nothing
Okay.
serious almost
Okay,
never.
hard in the chat even saying surrounded by children, not my fault.
I think Hart
It's
sees himself as the father figure.
nah.
That he like at the when they founded AM, it felt like Hart was like the leader, right? He even like said to MBL, "Yeah, I can kick you out," or he was kind of the captain, especially when we had him at our show.
No, we don't have any captain at all. We all decides all together who's gonna play each tournament, each event. I mean, so it's usually a decision made with everyone. There is no clear leader here. Even though leader is the best player by far, he is not like he takes all the decision or anything.
Mm.
We just decide together. The
It
mood is,
seems
actually at the moment is good. Even so we have the best start. We are still fine, motivated. To keep going on. There is still a lot of time to come back. The scoreboard.
Okay,
it seems
who?
to me like the players in Aftermath don't take themselves too seriously. And I think that's probably a good thing. I think it seems like you're open to having a joke, flaming each other a little bit, but it's all just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun in rated games, nothing serious. So we are streaming, so we know everyone's listening to us. We are not gonna argue for real there in front of a lot of people. Makes no sense. It's just trolling, and especially when we troll MBL, is something we can't help it. They also troll me when I'm streaming and I'm losing 1 versus 1 versus the other day versus team. I had hard Larry and MBL trolling in my chat, pissing me off on purpose. It's all good after that. Nothing serious.
Okay, who is the best 1v1 player in AM at the moment? Or give me a list.
If I had the list, it would be Larry first by a big difference, and then MBL, and then me and Hard with no clear winner, let's say. I think we are both kind of regular lately. Like we have many good games, and then we have some very bad games. But usually, MBL and Larry are in the constant they play. Especially Larry, of course. He made it super
Okay.
far in the 1v1 event.
And who is the best team game player? Or give me another list there as well. People enjoy lists.
um, well, I think it's first Larry, then me, then MBL and Hard not clear winner either.
Okay.
It varies a lot because Hard and Larry have the best teamwork in 2v2 with the team, I think. Even though I haven't tried too much with Larry or MBL, but they feel like Hart and Larry have played together for 2 years, so they understand very well.
Are Larry and Hart the best 2v2 team?
Well, I think so. I mean, if they kind of failed in the first round, 2v2 event, I think it was just a bad day. I still trust them a lot for 2v2. But we can't repeat the teams anyway, so we have to change the roster for the next event. For the next 2v2, I mean.
Okay.
Do you feel like... sorry, go ahead.
Zach, go ahead.
Okay. Do you feel like it's a missed opportunity? You know, Hart and Leary, they didn't perform too well in the ECL 2v2. How do you think that's going to affect the team going forward?
Well, yeah, it was kind of surprised. We didn't expect that. Well, because we wanted to make a lot of points, because as far as I remember, Secret was in the other side of the bracket. So we felt like, okay, we can try to make it far in this one till finals, and then we see versus Secret. It was like a nice opportunity, because we got to fight Secret in many rounds, many times in the first rounds or second round. And that one was kind of opportunity wasted. It was a good, it's just a bad day. A lot of bad days, also in tournaments.
Okay, question. Like, what was it? The first 3v3 event, you against AM. You came up on Budapest with a pretty nice team strategy there. You walled and slung, held very well against the Viper. Who's coming up with those ideas in the AM team?
Well, it depends. Usually Hart and MBL maybe are the ones who plan strategy, and also Larry. I don't plan much strategy myself, more other than the seals. The strategy in game sometimes I improvise, and it's mostly Larry or MBL. I remember the 4v4 game versus Tyrant, Secret actually, in the 4v4 event. The second game it was Budapest at the Wall Sling, and as I said, that was my idea, because I found myself in a very bad situation because I was Indians versus, I don't remember what's the Chinese, I think. And he had all my gold forward and very far boards. I had such a bad start. So I said, okay, we can sling Larry, I think it's long. And I told MBL to just boom and spam bombard towers everywhere, because it's such a small map, and bombard towers and take the whole map.
Larry doesn't agree. He feels that wasn't your idea. At least that's what he's saying in the chat.
I said I was gonna sling that game. I said,
okay.
I told them, okay, how to sling. My start is very bad, and I had all my gold forward, and I don't remember the rest.
Okay.
It's interesting. Aftermath has been sort of said to be a team that plays very standard, very, very sort of traditional. We did see in Battle of Africa, Aftermath never using real like sling strats, and now it seems like you're experimenting with that more, perhaps.
Well, that's something we kind of figured out. Also, I told them that we play very default most of the times in tournaments, and also in late games. We have to think out of the box sometimes. Start doing that, I mean. Just like, I don't know, we kind of go archers and scouts every time in 2v2 or in team games, instead of trying some forward or Adrush FC most of the times. Just like in the 2v2, like for example, Happy went FC or Dush FC, I don't remember, twice, and he had like a big success with Conquistadors.
Well, but that was like super unfortunate that his castle wasn't found, right? Like 90% of the time, all his villagers die on the way over there to Hart.
Yeah, well, they took the risk, and it worked out for Frantic.
Yeah, but that wasn't a strategy win, right? But still, yeah. Like I feel like Happy is one of the most one-dimensional players as well, right?
Yeah, I remember his series versus Larry in the King of the Desert. That was almost a disaster. The fourth game, I think it was the best game I have seen in a long time. I don't usually watch recorded games, but that one cracked me up.
That was brilliant.
For a caster drop with 20 million bills. This is desperation going around with bills to conquist. Yeah, Happy is like that. You always have to be careful and watch for sneak attacks and cast drops every time.
Oh god, yeah.
Such a complicated player. It's like the opposite of default players.
Yeah, probably.
It's fun though.
Yeah, he's a fun player to watch. if you wanted to have a fifth player for AM, who would be your favorite player to add to the roster?
Well, everyone is already in a team, so it's very hard to decide for one.
If you could have anyone,
Hera probably.
Hera.
I would say Miguel, but there is no way he's so used to play with Brazilian players, and it's very hard to take him out for a next tournament or whatever. Hera is like he gets along with all of us. Sometimes he plays, sometimes he joins TS, so he's a big possibility.
Yeah, I heard he is really good friends with MVL now.
Yeah, they are best buddies after framing each other 1 million times in the past. But it's fine. I had my issues with MVL as well, so it's all good.
Okay. Interesting. That's a name I didn't expect, but
really? Okay.
yeah.
People remember
Yeah,
my
like
clash with MVL in Nations Cup 2015, I think. It was
Okay.
a big time. But then we got along after some time. Now we are here. And even though he
Zach.
draws my English pronunciation, I still love MB. He's a nice guy.
Zach, any AM or Nicov questions?
What do you think is more important for an Age of Empires team? Pure skill, or the team getting along and being friends?
Well, both things. Skills alone can make you go far, but in the end, if they don't get along with each other, some bad play with someone might lead to some fights. Just like you remember BB in Battle of Africa, the explosion of SY versus AM, or before, I don't remember. Well, it seems they didn't get along for that tournament, and it didn't work in the end. They lost 3-0 very bad, and they split the team. I don't remember. BB left, and
Yeah.
So yeah, you usually have to get along with your teammates, otherwise it's never gonna work.
Awesome.
Okay, jumping over to the next topic. It is the Hidden Cup. That's going to be a tournament happening, I believe, this upcoming weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday will actually unfortunately overlap with ECL, hosted by T90, and has an incredible lineup of sick players. Let's take a look at that. I listed them here. The Viper, MBL, Slammed Out, Tado, Leary, Nicov, Vivi, Joe, Riot, Fire, Miguel. And the special thing is, players will all play with nicks that are not known to us. So it's like player 1 to player 12 or something. And therefore we will have like red and blue playing against each other in a best of 3, best of 5. And we have no idea who's actually playing. We only know the players. Nicov, how was the experience for you? Don't spoiler how many matches you played, or like how if you won or not. Just the idea behind the tournament.
Well, the idea is very nice. It's something like new for a tournament. Like you don't know at all who are you playing against, so that like, you can improvise a bit, judging by the ping. But it's still like if I have 300 ping, I know that it's some European player. There are many, and I can find out very easily. I can maybe know it after 1 or 2 games, depending on the style. But it's a very nice tournament. I enjoyed it a lot.
Did you feel differently going into each game? I imagine if you're going to play against the Viper and you know it's the Viper, maybe you have some thoughts in your mind about how you want to play, or what you want to do. Did that go away with this? Did you feel like you could play more open or free? Like, how did it affect you?
No, I'd rather know that I'm play versus Viper or BB or whatever. It's just because I know how they play, so I can prepare myself for that. Just for example, if I'm playing versus BB, you can expect some YOLO forward most of the times and be ready for that. But if I'm playing, I don't know, Miguel, and then it's not Miguel, but BB coming forward is completely different. Can catch me off guard. The same goes for Viper because he has a particular style. So it's very interesting, but I really prefer to know who I'm playing against.
Okay, like in your first game that you played, when did you realize who you were playing against?
Well, I can't spoiler.
Don't say. Okay, then let's not spoiler.
It's very hard not to spoil.
Yeah, it's hard to not to spoiler. I, for example, already know quite a lot of results It's like, yeah, and I think like people actually contacted me with that idea in the past as well. And I always said, okay, it's too much work around it, like creating the nicks, scheduling everything. T90 in this case had the nice benefit that Robo took over and did all the admin stuff for that. But yeah, I think it's pretty much impossible to really have it like completely unknown. Like there's so many indicators.
Yeah, well, people can realize that it's me playing just because I make Will Barrow minute 35 or something like that. On your build side, it's something so me that I can't help it. That's like a key to find out it's me. I don't know. Well, I usually can't tell, like, not exactly who, but maybe I can tell that I'm playing versus some Brazilian player or some European player, or, well, Chinese is very easy because I have like 450 ping most of the times. And also, I kind of like, because it's not 35 minutes, it's more like 40.
If you see that there's someone with 450 ping in the lobby, then you know it's probably either, well, it has to be Vivi or Yo, right? So you're probably not feeling so unsure of yourself in that situation.
No, it's not like feeling sure. It's just like, I don't know. It's a different preparation.
And for them it's tougher, right?
Also, Yo and Vivi play completely different. So I can assume it's Vivi or Mr. Yo before playing. I'm prepared for both at the same time.
Yeah. Zach, what do you think about this tournament?
I think it's a
really
nice
nice. I hope
idea.
there is. I really like it. I hope there are more editions by the end of the year or next year. It's very fun to play. Especially because you can pretend. Well, there is no bug in this event, but otherwise, I think everyone will be picking orange and pausing 1 million times and saying sick. So,
yeah.
We don't want to make it too obvious. Or just like write like a Chinese in the schedule topic. You can
were you allowed to pick your color freely? Or were you told your color? Oh, okay.
Well, I just play with blue or red. I'm not gonna use green like I always do, of course. As well as I don't expect Viper to pick yellow. And I don't know who else has a particular color.
The Max teal, but he didn't play.
Yeah,
didn't play. Yeah.
Right, that's exactly what he's not playing.
Miguel is green as well, I believe.
Yeah, he copied me.
Leary
doesn't have a color, does he?
Not really.
I think Larry picks green too. I don't remember. Maybe red.
Yeah. I'm waiting for someone to have color 6 as their favorite color.
Oh, that was Juan Setzer, my friend Argentina. He will speak color 6 every time. He will never put ready if he doesn't get the color. He was so annoying.
Oh god.
He's one of those guys, right?
Yeah, Larry is green. I think so as well. Yeah.
Oh. That's some internal conflict right there. Aftermath fighting who gets color green.
And sometimes they don't get it at all.
No, we don't have issues with the color. If we had, I would say, okay, Larry, I'm fucking 26 years old. You let me pick it.
Put the foot down.
I know Larry works. Me, so I hope he understands and pick other color.
Okay. Then let's go over and talk some about ECL, because whoops, that was wrong. This is right. ECL, obviously we had a lot behind us. Let's take a quick look at the old ECL bracket. I can make that a bit bigger. So that was the 2v2 event where indeed AM and Secret lost in the first round. In the end, it was SY winning. Quite a nice win for them. Nicov, how did you follow that last 2v2 event?
Well, I watched most of the games. It had a lot of unexpected results, like you say, AM, Secret, and also Brazilian team. I think they lost in first round. I don't remember versus who. It was more like a great tournament for Asian teams. They made a lot of points at the event. But yeah, it's like in ECL, I feel everything can win anything if they are in a good day. The problem is that we are not winning anyone lately. The three events at least. So, but yeah, we will start doing better soon. I'm pretty sure we have a lot of time still. It's like
Yeah,
only
we
3 events out of 14, I think. I don't remember the number.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's
We've got
only
the
3
fourth one
events.
coming up this weekend.
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
let's
2v2 was very fun to watch in general. I like a lot 2v2. Much more than 3v3, which usually, I don't know, is kind of decided by the civilization of the pocket. It also goes for 4v4. It has some extra look factor, which you don't have in 2v2 because it's only 2 players, so there is no pocket or flank.
yeah,
And
yeah.
also 2v2 are very aggressive usually. They don't
Well,
let
it's
someone.
interesting you say that because even though we had incredibly open maps for the Africa stage, players actually played very sort of wall and boom style. Like, for example, we saw a lot of the Frantic team even walling on Serengeti, which is a map which is very hard to wall. Even the same on Desert and other open maps as well.
Yeah, well, that's something Chinese teams do quite a lot since they have memory. Let's say they love walling a lot in Feudal Age and then going aggressive in Castle Age, like, because they are completely walls, so they can't take damage on their economy, so they just go full aggression in Castle Age to take map control and stuff. It's not like they play defensive, it's just for some minutes to prepare for attacking some minutes later.
Yeah, they made it happen. But we had some wall maps as well. I believe George is pretty easy to wall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what
well,
else have we
George,
had?
yeah, George is like super easy to wall almost every time. You guys are
Yeah.
surrounded by forest, and it only depends on where is your goal. But usually, you can take a secondary goal in the worst case.
Yeah.
But the
So
interesting thing
you can
about
take
Gorge,
back on
what we saw there was
Gorge. I don't know who the rest that map is for. Gorge.
it's Gorge. But the interesting thing about that map was that we saw Suomi. They played that map twice, and they both went for like a wall and like castle defense to go for their unique unit. I think we saw Mayans and Spanish, for example, and
Yeah, well,
they just
yeah.
got overwhelmed by castle age aggression from knights and crossbow.
I don't remember the games in particular, but it's normal because you can mass a lot of exos in early Castle Age. You go feudal, you will have a lot, and you can get ballistics, and with nice, you can try to break in somewhere. And if you are inside, it's like you're producing units only from one castle, so you will get outmassed eventually. So you have to wall completely, or you're in big trouble.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was a bit of misplay of Finland there. Maybe like Night Plumes were better than Night Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Heresy played incredible there in the first game.
I don't know if I'm wrong or something, but I think Finland stonewall most of the map, and there was a house, and they break in through the house. I mean, the enemy team. I don't remember if that was the case.
I think it was a
There was a
blacksmith
hole
was a
as
stable.
well. Mm.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah, didn't get walled in time
Ah, okay.
in one of the
No,
games.
I just don't remember the game.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the second one there.
That was two, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we will take a look at the overall standings here. At the moment, we have SY leading quite nicely with 17 points overall. Secret, although they won twice, are down to second place, but they are quote unquote only second place. AM at the moment with the 7th place. That's what not a lot of people would have expected, but as we said, it's only after 3 of the 14 events.
Well, I have to confess that I have not watched Scoreboard yet because I want to get the press, so I don't want to watch it. I imagine it was in the second to last place or the 6th one. I don't know. Okay, you open your stream. We are 7. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Leary making one semi-final for you, and the rest you didn't make it into even the paid places in the other 2 events. Like first round against Secret, and now the 2v2 events.
Oh, that Scoreboard is such a disaster.
No.
Yeah, well, the 4v4, like when you play versus Secret, it's not that unlikely that you might lose. So even though it kind of hard as losing that series, it was not a big surprise. Also, it was close games. That was the fact that we didn't like much because we could have won. We feel, but otherwise, if we lost by a big difference, it would be like, I don't know, more expected. Well, yeah, the 2v2 event was very hard. It was such a wasted
Yeah.
opportunity. And also the 1v1, I think we could have done better.
Well, there's a lot of time and a lot of more events to, catch up and make up those missing points right now. But
Yeah.
obviously, once we get to a certain point, SY or Secret, if they're quite far ahead, it might be difficult to catch them. Do you think that they're going to be catchable?
Well, I think one of them is gonna be in the LAN event. That's kind of for sure, unless they both had a nice amount of very bad tournaments or events actually. But I don't expect that to happen. Also, I think they haven't played each other and they have to face in first or second round many times, and they didn't yet. So I expect them to drop points to each other. We have to take advantage of that.
Okay. And I'd like to just answer why. There was a couple of questions in the chat. Why did Secret win more money, even though they're in second place? And that all depends on which event they're playing in. Obviously, if they're playing in a 4v4, there's more money to win than if you're playing in the 1v1, since there's 4 players that need to get paid and not 1 player. So that's where the difference in prize money comes from.
Yeah, that's true.
And obviously, first places are always getting exponentially more than second places.
Mm-hmm.
Although the point system is somewhat fair in this one here.
Yeah, there is a huge difference between the 2 first places and the rest. As you can see in the scoreboard, it's almost $2,500 difference. And also, I thought Frantic was a bit higher, actually. Well, he's third. They are third, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, not that much money for them, right? They
Yeah, that's what I
made
mean.
2 second places. Yeah. Okay. If you make it to the finals and you said it has to be SY or Secret going there as well, who do you think will you overtake more likely? It has to be SY, right?
What was your question? Sorry.
Like, okay, if Aftermath makes it into the finals,
Yeah.
who else is going? Is it SY or is it Secret?
To the LAN.
Well, it can be either of them. Like I say, I expect one of them to be in the finals already. So, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
It
it's
depends a lot
tricky.
because you can't really predict who's gonna make it to the final of both teams because there are still a lot of times, like almost a whole year. So you don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so we have the 3v3 events this Saturday. Maybe you could tell us, without spoiling anything, of course, but tell us who played for Aftermath on Saturday.
We switch players depending on the map.
Okay. So you didn't have one lineup for the whole thing?
No, we decide depending on the map, who feels more comfortable in each map or the current shape of every player. But we all played at least one game in this event. So people won't miss anyone in particular.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we did make it so that any team can swap out players during the 3v3 and 4v4.
Yeah.
Sweet. Then more 3v3s come in, and I believe now it's 2 3v3 events in a row, right? The Africa one, and then we're moving over, which is 3v3 again.
Yeah, I can double check that, but it's basically there's more 3v3 and 1v1 than there is 2v2 and 4v4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think like Brazil had pretty good brackets facing AM or Secret only in the finals in both 3v3 events. So I'm expecting a lot out of them now. Kind of facing the quote-unquote easier teams with Heresy, the Chinese teams, and VNS.
Well, Bazookas are facing SY in the first round of the next 3v3, the Middle East one.
Yeah, and next one there are or in Africa they faced Frantic, I believe. I think it's SY Frantic SY, if they all won.
Right. And then you're right though. They have Suomi in the one after that, which is the Southeast Asia one.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of stages, a lot of events.
Yeah, that's so true. So, Nicov, how do you see Heresy at the end performing? Because at the moment, they are probably the weakest team. They got one win, I believe that was Matthias against Hart, and that was it for now. Do you see them making much more points, or will that be it?
Well, I think Hera can win many people in 1v1 event. Also in 2-2, maybe Melkor and Hera is a good combo for that event. And I feel they lose some chances in 3v3 or 4v4 versus most of the other teams. I expect them to take some points in 1v1 and 2v2. Which doesn't mean that they can't take any point in 3v3. They still can beat many teams. I mean, like especially because first round is always best of 3. So a good couple of games and they make it to the next round.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you expect of Finland? Because a lot of people felt like, oh god, they might be like the third strongest team and they could go for the big upset here. At the moment, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think it's not only Aftermath underperforming. I think it's also Brazilian team and Finland in general. We are not having a good tournament, all of us. So we are more or less in the same situation.
Yeah, probably the 3 Asian teams performing better than like the European press expected.
I expect the final to be much better at this point of the long tournament. They have lost in first rounds a couple of times too, as well as us. So also Brazilian team.
So, what needs to change for Aftermath to start performing better?
Well, I don't know. That's a complicated question because we are working on that actually. Still have to find out why I have failed so far. Like you say, the 4v4 event versus Secret was very close, especially the first game, which lasted like 2 hours, and we ran out of wood. We could have won that game.
Yeah.
On the 2v2, it was just, I feel Larry and Hart couldn't adapt to Chinese style for those games. On the 1v1 event, I don't remember the games of Larry versus BB. It was actually 3-2, so it was super close. He could have
Was
won.
he leading 2-0?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It can be many reasons we are not performing well, so we have to find it out yet. And well, of course, Harold losing to Merkel was not something we expect to happen. Not because Merkel is bad, because he's actually like 2.3, I think. But yeah, I don't know. We were training and Harold was playing very good. I didn't want to play that event because I was studying back then and I was kind of busy and I was not feeling in a good shape for such an important event. So I just told Hart and NBL to decide who wants to play, and in the end it was Hart.
And it's easy to look bad, and I think Matthias became so good, and like I'm not surprised that Matthias is performing well at the moment. He's playing a lot. His speed is incredible. He's doing a lot of like strategy talk with his brothers and others. So he is a guy that we need to look out for even more than we are already.
Yeah, they have some very good teamwork together, especially because they are brothers. They can communicate super easily and they know each other completely. They have very good teamwork in general, so they might surprise people for some time.
Zach, any more ECL questions?
Not really. I think we've gone over the current, well, what's happened so far, and we've talked about what's happening on Saturday, which is the 3v3. I guess Nicov has already gone over the fact that Aftermath right now are perhaps underperforming a little bit, and they're trying to figure out exactly why that is and what they can improve on next time. And obviously, there's a lot of events still to go, so hopefully Aftermath can figure it out and sort of see themselves going up the scoreboard a little bit.
Okay. Good luck with that. A lot of people.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
Well, that's like a lot of people would love to see AM against Secret in the finals, right?
for sure.
That's like if the offline event is happening in Europe, more people would be more excited to have AM against Secret than Secret against SY.
Perhaps, but is the offline event happening in Europe?
Like, if it's in America, I think way less people are coming, and then it's not that important, I'd say.
What if it's in Asia?
If it's in Asia, it's obviously best Secret against SY.
Okay.
By far.
Okay.
By far. Like, we saw the hype Nations Cup finals. Or, like, not Nations Cup finals, what was it? Clan Masters, the final showdown or something.
Yeah. Sure. I mean,
they want to have Doubt and Viper there.
For sure. They love those guys. But, I mean, the Asian community is very sort of separated, I'd say, from the rest of the world, you know? There's the language barrier there. There's a huge amount of people watching in Asia, or specifically China, but they are very sort of separated from the international community, which is a shame, but it's also just the way it is right now.
Well, separate Woobly, Twitch blocked. We will never go to Douyu and chat there.
No.
So
I mean, I actually tried to register on Douyu, and I got to the point where I needed to verify my account. And the way that they verify your account is by calling your mobile phone and giving you 6 numbers that you have to type in to verify. It's like an automated call. Of course, it's in Chinese. So I brought up on my screen like numbers 1 to 10 or 1 to 9, so 0 to 9 in Chinese, and tried to like decipher this call. I did it 10 times before they blocked my number. I couldn't do it. So it's pretty tough. Pretty tough to sign up there.
Why didn't you try with your Helena or anyone? Like there are some,
isn't it? It's a challenge.
Lanchi. Yeah, good job. You got your phone blocked. Nice challenge.
I did. And now when I go to China, they'll be like, right, get out. You're not welcome here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a personal file. Blocked in Douyu.
Yep.
Turn around.
Go home.
Okay, then let's jump over to NAC. For one who doesn't know what that is, that's a tournament happening in my apartment, and we will have 6 players invited: Leary, Jordan, MBL, Nicov, Tato, and the Viper. And we will have 2 qualifiers starting next week. They will happen, and we will talk some about the event and about the potential qualifiers coming up. Nicov, you already said you are motivated to train for this event. What does NAC2 mean for you? Or mean to you?
First, I want to say that I'm so happy that ECL and hidden cap topics are done, because it's so hard not to spoil anything. So I was trying not to script up. I don't know what to say. So I'm glad we can talk about the future now. And yes, I'm very motivated for that tournament and excited. And I also want to. I expect at least I don't know, some friends of mine to make it through the qualifiers, and I'm gonna try to help them. Especially Miguel, Mentalist, and I don't know who else. Maybe missing someone. Well, I wanted to train her, but he doesn't want to play the qualifier, so I was just had to train Miguel and Mentalist, so I hope one of them makes it. I also wanted Mysterio to make it to the LAN, because he's an old friend of mine from like 4 years ago, I think. And yeah, it's a pity that New Year in China is super important for them, so they can make it. I still don't know about Vietnamese players, because they also celebrate that. I think Bat is playing. He also signed up so far.
Yeah, Back he signed up.
Also ACCM, I saw him.
Yeah, I made a small list of like the top favorites for me, and a bit lower. Other players that could sign up could have a shot of qualifying as well. It feels like Doubt should be one of the big favorites to qualify, and then it will get interesting. Slam, the Max, Bacti, Fire, and I've seen Miguel already training with the Viper, and if he's training with you, he should probably be one of the favorites to take it as well.
Yeah, Miguel is super motivated as well. I saw him training with Viper, and we are also gonna train soon. We can play some 1v1 games, but it was rated. I mean, in Miguel's apartment cup map pack, it was just rated, so we didn't try any stuff or nothing in particular. Also, we both were streaming.
Just to clarify, chat, this isn't a list of all the signups. It's just what I expect people who could sign up, who could play. Like half of them already signed up. They're confirmed to me that they will, but we will see. Chinese players can't participate. I gave Mr. Yo a direct invite, but as Nicov said, it is Chinese New Year at NAC2, so that won't happen. It was really tough to find a good date. At one date, Viper didn't want to or couldn't, and then I always have to go with Leary because he has a school. So I only can make the event when there are holidays at his school. And yeah, so I had to decide. No Leary, no Viper, or no Mr. Yo. Then I decided against Yo.
Yeah.
That's fair, I think.
No, it's not fair.
Well, it's not fair, but it's the most logical option.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's never going to be fair to have to say no to someone, but it's probably the best. Are you concerned, Nilly, that let's say Doubt and Slam qualify, that it's going to be Secret and Aftermath again?
I don't mind. They are the fan favorites. Like, I would love to see the Max, like, owning everyone and going through the qualifiers and being there and being like the shy under the radar guy and goes deep. But I don't mind. Like, I love Slam as a person, so I'd love him to be here. And like Doubt is a huge fan favorite, so he is only good. So I wouldn't mind any of those to qualify.
Well, you say Doubt is the one biggest chance to qualify. But I don't know if that's completely true because there is the Max, there is Slam, like you say, Miguel also. And Mental usually performs super good in tournaments. He's very underrated player.
Yeah, I agree with Mentalist.
It's hard to predict who's gonna make it through the qualifiers, but I do expect Doubt to make it in the first or second opportunity. Well, the second is completely mystery to me.
Well, you say that you'd expect him to do it, but he didn't qualify for the Cologne Gamescom event, remember?
I didn't want to mention that. Just
that was way tougher,
many fans.
Zach.
I don't want to depress them.
True.
That was MBL, Tato, Leary, and the Viper in front of him. And those four are already invited, and he can't play the qualifiers against them. So his nemesis, Winchester, signed up as well. But, yeah, like 4 of like the stronger players can't play against him.
True. There's also only 2 qualification spots instead of 4, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's harder. It's like the other case in the Cologne. I didn't want to mention that.
And one other special thing is that this time I will not only pay for all the players, but also for all the casters. And we'll have Zero Empires, Killer Bee, T90, and Memp here as well for the, I believe, full time. And I think that will give us more variety when it comes to casting. People don't have to cast like series after series. And I think it might give us a bigger like crowd, like having fun together feeling instead of like, oh God, the next guy has to cast, for example.
Yeah, I kind of felt that last time. It was like, Zach, can you cast this next game? And I was like, well, I don't really want to cast another one, but I'll do it because, you know, I need to step up to let someone else have a break. So I think that's really nice. And I think we all really appreciate you inviting us, of course.
Yeah, it only felt fair. Like you are doing so much, like you are basically like 12 days of not streaming, supporting my channel, and it was so generous of you. Like last time, like you paid all your flights, paid the apartment, stayed here, and made this event so much better. Like you and Killer Bee casting it was just so good for the whole event, and I felt like if I can't pay you yet, I think I still need to pay for all your costs.
Right. Well, I mean, we appreciate that, of course, and I mean, we're really excited for it because I think for us and for obviously everyone who wants to take part, it's so much more than the prize money. It's really just about being able to meet people and spend time together and play Age of Empires together. So that's really the value of the event, I think.
Yeah, sweet.
And sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Okay, Nicov, who are you most excited to meet?
Larry and MBL, of course. We have become friends from 1 year ago, so those are the most I expect to watch. And also, of course, Tato, because we have talked for years, and he also speaks Spanish like me, so I'm glad he's there in case he has some problem with the computer or whatever. There's also Meme in that case. So, and well, of course, Viper and, well, I don't know if Daud is going to make it, but I expect to see both of them too. And also Jordan, a player I haven't needed for years. I don't know if I forgot someone. I think I didn't.
No, it's okay. I asked you who are most excited. The person you forgot, you can't be too excited.
Well, yeah, also 2 extra players, but I don't know who's going to be. Like, say, expect to be one of those I have taken for years.
So you had 6 players and a couple of casters last time. Now you're going to have 8 players and 4 casters. Do you think there's going to be a bit? It's going to be quite cozy.
Sorry, I read the chat. Sorry, you mean players there? Like, I know players who actually want to play. So I'm sorry if I didn't mention you.
It's okay.
Oh, it's not okay. Sorry.
I didn't even mean it that way. Okay, Zach, your question.
Do you think the apartment will be quite cozy with all these extra people in it?
I think I will have less +1s this time. And I think that we will decide who's casting the day before. So people don't like have to stay here. They can go into the city. So I feel it's not too many more people. No, I think like 1 or 2 more isn't the worst thing. Like when we were at the maximum, like during the finals, there were a lot of like people in there which weren't like players or casters. And I think I will cut this down a bit more for the next episode.
Yeah, okay. And will there be an opportunity for other people to come and meet people, just obviously outside of the apartment?
Yeah, I'm planning with the meet and greet for the Saturday evening again. Just maybe I will make it the Friday evening. I will talk with Rocket Beans about that. Might be completely day off on Friday then, might be Saturday. It's just so tough because Saturday is the best day for both. It's either for the meetup the best and it's for streaming it's the best. So
I agree.
I kind of have to see what I'm missing out. Yeah.
Cool. Well, the meetup was amazing last time, so I think we should definitely do something similar again, maybe even bigger.
I think it has to be bigger, right? How many people were there last time? Like 80 to 100?
Yeah, it was packed in there.
And this time we have way more time. People, everyone of the meetup from the first edition says it was so amazing. So like they will come, like I'd say like 80% of them will come again. And then there are so many other people coming.
Yeah.
And it's like still 5 months, so people can plan accordingly. I wouldn't be surprised if we reach like 200.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And shout out to all the people who stayed up until 6 a.m. with us as well. We had a good time.
Yeah, that was so sweet. Like we like when they threw us out, we still were like 25 people, and that was it was bright daylight.
Yep.
So it was like 6 a.m. It might be true, yeah.
No, I just expect a lot of more people to be there than the previous event. The hype is even bigger this time because more players and more casters.
Yeah, I think
5 months still.
My planning when it comes to money was like paying 400 euros for the location. So that's a bit bigger than what we had last time.
Yeah.
Last time I paid like 150. So let's see. I think it has to be the Saturday. I think I might make a vote. Actually, I'm not sure if that makes sense. I will see. I will talk with Rocket Beans.
To think about it.
Yeah. Well, depends. For most people, it's obviously better to know if it's Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, sure.
For us, it's the same because we are obviously already here. Yeah. And then I still have to decide on the format, obviously. I don't want to go for like a single bracket, like double elimination or something. And Swiss system is somewhat confusing, but might be a good option. And then like what I would really like, but it could get too repetitive. We just do a whole round robin, best of 5. That actually works perfectly in the schedule. But I will see. The thing is, I will talk to all the players when we finish the qualification, and then we will come up with something all as a group, I believe, and then we'll decide on the format, the maps, and the times, if they want best of 5, best of 7s. Last time I did a long file and let them all write it down. I just feel so bad to let someone fly in from, for example, Argentina, and let them only play like 2 best of 7 series. Okay, Zach, give me your 2 names. Who are the 2 guys that will qualify?
Oh God.
Tough.
I have to choose 2. Okay.
Yes, exactly 2.
I'm gonna say Slam and Max.
Ooh, no doubt. Okay. Nicov, give me 2.
Let me think for 10 seconds.
I mean, that was completely random, really, because I think anyone could.
Slam and
it's
Max.
very hard to predict. I would say Doubt and the Max.
And the Max.
I'm rooting for Slam, to be honest, because I want to see him sort of, break this bad spell of not winning things or getting qualifying, like.
Well, the thing is, even if he makes it, which I sadly don't believe because it is a tournament, the qualification, even if he comes over here, it's again like the life pressure, and I think he will choke. Oh, I like him so much, but tournaments aren't his thing.
He's a great guy. We'll see. I mean, it's exciting, right? I mean, that's a huge excitement for a lot of people. Who is going to qualify? Who's going to fill those last 2 spots?
Yeah, and that's like, for me at the moment, obviously, like, there's a lot of like personal involvement because it's my tournament and they're going to my apartment to see who qualifies. But it's also like the excitement, because most of the time it's like, okay, it's Viper against Tedo in the finals and Viper wins 4-1. Whatever tournament. Sometimes it's Stout against Viper in the finals and he wins 4-0 or something like that. Like, over exaggerating. But it's always like Viper dominance. And this tournament, it's so tough to call. And it's like, some people could go crazy. Like Mantalist could go crazy. Winchester could come back with an incredible performance.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Velise. If the Max and Velise are training every single day, together with Roomstock and Zuppy, I wouldn't be surprised if the Max and Velise are qualifying. That's just crazy.
I don't really expect that to happen, but I do expect Max to make it very far. But yeah, the other spot is so hard to predict because there's Doubt, there is Slam. Also, Miguel can surprise everyone if he trains properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very hard to predict 2 players. But I really vote for the Max and Doubt at the moment.
Nicov, how big is your motivation and the motivation of the other AM members to win NAC and to uncrown the Viper?
Well, it's huge, of course. We are very excited for it. You are talking about... Yeah, sorry.
Is it like you are excited now, or is it you and Leary will like boot camp and will train for several
No, we are not that.
weeks, days before that, and just be super prepared for the tournament?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. We're gonna train a lot together, especially in January, 1 month before we'll start. Like, we didn't schedule anything with this. I think that's what's gonna happen because we all want to win that tournament, and we need. Well, no, not that bootcamp. We are not like frantic in CS:GO or something like that.
Yeah, I know that they won't sit together in bootcamp. I mean, like, take a way off and just play 6 hours of 1v1 specific for the maps for a week or something. That's for Age of Empires 2 standards a lot.
Yeah, we'll play a lot, that's for sure.
Bot camp.
More like Fortnite camp. No.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, it's
no,
the good thing.
It's gonna be forbidden. Only hard we will.
The good thing is that it's still in a very intense phase of ECL as well. So your level has to be high anyways if you still want to make the quote-unquote comeback and still get onto the ECL LAN finals, all of you have to be in tip-top shape at that point anyways.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean that we are not going to train now because we are also training for ECL at the moment. But I mean, it's going to be different. I don't know how to say.
How does the training look for you? Is it like we play together a lot of games? Or is it, okay, we analyze regs, we talk about mistakes of our teammates?
Well, I watch the regs sometimes to see what happened in the games, to find out some little mistakes that could have turned around. I don't know how to say, change the run of the game. I don't know how to say. But yeah, I try to look for small mistakes that happen. Like, I don't mean holding the wall or stuff like that because that's very simple. It's just in general game reading that we may have failed.
Okay.
In 1v1 or in 2v2 or whatever. But yeah, you usually watch the regs. Then we discussing DS all together.
Okay. That's a healthy approach, I believe. Zach, any last remarks or questions concerning NAC?
No, not right now. I'll probably have something in a minute
Okay.
when
you
we do the
can.
Q&A.
That's exactly what we're doing, guys. So that's your chance now to ask us questions at nearly at Zero Empires, and then we can ask questions to me, to Zero Empires, or to Nicov. We are trying to answer them as good as possible. Your time to ask away.
What will it take for Nicov to fix his FP?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I got to call my ISP and see if they can actually open the damn port. So far, I'm using a VPN for tournaments when I really need to fix the FP because I want to make everyone wait. And also, I have a problem with like Finland. Let's say, like Supi is the only player I have FP no matter what in Bully. I think it's because he's as potato as me fixing a router or whatever. We are both very new at that, so it's such a disaster. But they can fix the FP with everyone else after some time.
Zach, when are the ECL finals?
Grand finals?
Yes.
Sometime around August 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So about 10 to 11 months away. It's a while.
Hard. I asked him what his reasons were, and he had solid argumentation. We can talk about that later because I still wanted to give him a chance to change his mind and give him a chance to still qualify if he so desires. So, yeah. Let's keep it at that for now. At the moment, he does not want to qualify. Maybe he wants to qualify later on. Maybe Nicov MBL will have an influence on that. Maybe Leary as well.
No, we have failed on that already. Like, it's a long discussion about that, and there's no way to convince him. I can encourage all the viewers in your channel right now to PM hard and send 1 million notes and say, play the fucking qualifiers. But he will still say no. We kind of gave up on that, as Larry say in the chat right now. Maybe he changed his mind, but I don't expect that to happen.
Okay, what else do we have? Any sponsors for NAC2? Well, obviously a lot of people already donated, but yeah, I'm in discussion with other big sponsors and hoping to get 5 digits out of them. Let's see. Still in discussion with Microsoft as well. Let's see how that is going to work out. I'm hopeful to get the 20k roughly that we need with less of community support this time, but obviously with a lot more sellout. So it's likely that NAC2 will have a lot of advertisements and nearly sellouts. Which
I think is fine, because you can't expect the community to pay the bill every time, right? I know they want to, but it's better for everyone if they don't have to.
Yeah. What's the reason for no doubt invite? First of all, he got 6. why would I invite the last player again? Then he was late twice. And his attitude about preparation, talking before the event and talking after the event. I wanted to question him with some other things. He never answered. And kind of protecting my own tournament of that behavior. And I even thought for a small moment, okay, do I like forbid him to even qualify for the event? But then I felt like, okay, that's a harsh overreaction. So let him qualify.
What's the philosophy or the ruling about alcohol? Because we had a lot of drinking during the last event.
The rule we had last time was you are allowed to drink if you already played your games at that day. And it depends on what sponsors we are getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
There might be some sponsors that will forbid it completely. Then we cannot drink on stream.
Yep, if Microsoft sponsor it, that would be the case.
Yeah, that could be an option. And yeah, the rule you aren't allowed to drink before you play will stay the same, just to keep like the level of seriousness in the tournament.
Cool. That's good. It's not that it's completely forbidden. I mean, you can go outside of the apartment. There's a whole world out there.
Yeah, and casters can drink off stream as well.
Of course.
So like or like after 20 GMT we will shut down the living cam.
Oh, I thought you said after 20 beers we were going to shut it down. No problem. 8 o'clock works too.
Yeah. We will see that. Yeah, like people enjoy drinking quite a bit, and the mood got very good at points. But you saw like Saturday and Sunday was all seriousness. No one drank. It was everyone was like razor focused there. That's
true. But I think that's also because it was later in the event and people had kind of been out on Saturday and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just answer a question quickly? I've seen it twice now.
Sure.
Where will the land for ECL be, and will there be plenty of warning before it's announced? There will be lots of warning, but I don't know where it's going to be yet because Microsoft are arranging the location and all of that. So once I know from them, then I can obviously inform everyone.
Another T90 drinking tournament. Well, we had, what was it? Liquor League, right? We could do live Liquor League this time.
Depending on sponsor. Maybe you should get an alcoholic beverage sponsor.
Yeah, like the guys, like the company that are getting the sponsors to me, like I gave them a list of companies that would be good to sponsor the event, and they didn't have any context to Weiss beer, like the wheat beer that we drank. So I told them maybe to feel in that direction a bit. Yeah, beer sponsor would be awesome, obviously, but I don't see that happening.
Oh, that would be amazing. Maybe an energy drink sponsor.
That would be nice as well. Obviously, like I said, we can consume a lot of whatever they put for us. Guys, stay respective in...
Yeah, the thing is, getting a sponsor is hard. It is hard. You have to jump through a lot of hoops and check a lot of boxes for them.
Luckily, I have an old poker friend of mine who just founded a startup to find sponsors for streamers. And so I had a lot of pitches with him. We made like whole presentations, like Hamburg, the most legendary strategy game of all time. The 8 best players in the world. That is Nilly's Apartment Cup 2. And something like that. So, and then they have the slides, like how advertising on Twitch works and such. So there are chances that we might get someone or some more. Well, we will see. I would love to have a big sponsor, preferably one big sponsor. But yeah, that's all in the future. Luckily, we still have like 4 or 5 months to go.
I can send you our Escape Gaming sponsorship deck if you like. You can have a look at that.
I think they got theirs, but yeah, sure. So won't hurt. Yeah. Red Bull would be sexy, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Red Bull would though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't
Very
think so either.
unrealistic.
What is the qualification procedure for NAC2? Well, there are 2 qualifiers, 16 players each, double elimination. First place will get a seat. All the info on AoE zone to be found. And yeah, well, we expect big signups. A lot of people are very motivated to play it. Some more questions for Nicov as well, guys. Do you have any? Now it's your very special chance, because we will have more talk of the Empires about ECL and Neil's Apartment Cup, most likely in the upcoming month. And Nicov only here.
Yeah.
For now, at least. I have not asked any sponsors directly myself. Nicov AFK? No, Larry. Thanks for the question.
Nothing interesting to say. Moment, so I let you talk.
Yeah.
I know laughing is my voice.
Nicov, are you missing that most of the other Argentinian pros stopped playing, like Monos, FedEx, Juan?
Well, I do miss them in the game because I still see them in real life pretty often. We actually we're gonna see it tomorrow at some bar. So yeah, but yeah, I miss them playing with them. It was so fun every time. Yes, it was kind of similar to AMTS. Because we troll a lot, we troll each other and stuff. But it was different because we're all Argentina. It's completely different. Well, I didn't expect them to come back to the game.
Okay, are you friends with Twig?
No, I don't. I'm not friend, and I don't know him in real life. But I still respect him a lot because I think he's the second best player in Argentina. So I hope he's even better.
Yeah, he probably is.
Also, he lives very far in other province. So instead, in all sets of players and Misho and other players, we are all in the same city, so it's so easy to say, "Hey, let's do some meet up this I don't know, Thursday or Saturday. Yeah, let's go." There we go.
Okay. So I see you being reasonably active in the balancing Discord channel as well. How do you like the balance of the game at the moment? What are the biggest changes you want to see?
Yeah, well, I haven't taken part much lately. I only see Hard spamming all the day about changing Mamelukes and stuff. I agree with him though. I think Mamelukes are extremely weak right now, except versus Paladins and Elephants. They lost a lot of power. They so bad versus halves of any season, especially, of course, Japanese or Kels ones. And also, I think Incas are still very strong in 1v1, kind of more than. And also, the Indian's pocket is such a problem because you don't really know how to fix them. Super complicated. Yeah. But yeah, the Indian pocket should be a priority, at least for team games. And as long as you can't pick the position of the sieve in tournaments, I think Indians need a nerf. Because having, I don't know, let's say Frank's pocket versus Indians is terrible. And as long as you don't kill any enemy flank very shortly, later the camels just kill everything, no matter what you make. Also, the economy is completely insane. So any Paladin seed, I think they have no chance versus Indian's pocket.
Yeah.
That's one of the priorities. I don't know. There are more stuff that I can remember right now.
Yeah, like there's a lot about Persian discussion at the moment in the channel as well.
It's one of my least favorite seeds. I completely hate having them either in 1v1 or team game. They are very weak, especially as flank. As pocket, they are still good, but they have no chance versus Berbers or Indians, even Magyars. I don't know what others see. Malians, maybe. But yeah, Bears are very weak right now. I don't like them at all. They were already weak in 1v1 in AOC, but still had some chances in my times, especially as pocket. But now I don't know. It's not as if I would like to pick in 1v1 or team game in general.
What is the strongest 1v1 Civ and what's the strongest team game Civ at the moment?
Well, it depends on the map. I don't really know what's the strongest Civ right now. Maybe it's like there is no clear Civ like in AOC it was 100% Aztecs. Like there are many Civs that can counter each other, and you have to be smart when you pick the Civ, especially when it's hidden. But yeah, I feel Aztecs are still one of the top Civs. Indians have the problem now that they are extremely weak versus Hals. So they are not a good choice on Imperial. Especially because most of Paladins still have Hals. I mean, they still win versus, but they struggle a lot versus Meso Civs too. And I like a lot Mayars. It's just because it's so fun to play with scouts. But I really can't think about the strongest Civ in Arabia. Maybe Slavs are kind of underrated actually. They are super strong in 1v1. Once you let them farm enough, their echo is just insane. They can make anything. Also, they have cheap siege, completely monk line. So such a complete Civ. And also Mayans are still super strong with cheap plumes and easy way to get map control most of the times. And of course,
And-
Malians are also very good. Big bonus.
Seems like you like a lot of tips.
Yeah, it's very hard to predict. See, like hidden cap in Arabia, you have to think a lot for a long time what Civ are you gonna pick, especially because you don't know who are you playing against. So it's kind of tic-tac-toe. You don't know what the enemy gonna pick. You can't predict it at all. It's like I pick Mayans, okay. I pick Indians, okay. And I'm versus Mayans. I don't like that Civ war. But if I pick Indians and my enemy picks, I don't know, some cowardly Civ, okay, we'll have more chance. So it's kind of lucky at a certain point. I think we still have to find out the strongest Civ 100%. Yeah. Well, Loquindos is still new. It's only 1 year old, let's say. Especially with all the balance patch with Steelhead, things still keep changing all the time.
It's more than 1.5, right? Wasn't it early 2017 when we had the Rise of the Rajas
right.
tournament?
It's actually more closer to 2 years than to 1. But it was different back then. There have been a lot of balance changes by then. I remember that Indians used to be picked every time in Arabia in 1v1 events in escape tournaments. Till people figured out that Malians were exceptionally good with the cheaper buildings and super fast university and infantry with armor and stuff. And then people switch it to Meso C. So things keep changing, and they will keep changing for some more time.
Yeah, probably. And that I like the changes and how active they are making balance changes at the moment, and how quickly and how well they are reacting to the feedback of the top players. So I really like that approach. Zach, I came up with another question.
Oh, okay.
How happy are you with the viewer numbers of ECL at the moment?
Good question, actually. I think we're very happy, actually, right now, because a lot of people have said, oh, the viewer numbers look really low, but when in actual fact, they're just kind of spread out a bit more. We're averaging about 6,000 concurrent viewers every single weekend so far, even after the initial sort of front page boost that we get from Twitch when it gets on the Twitch front page. So I think we're doing well. And I think as well, this event, it's not designed to be like super hyped. That was never the intention with the ECL. I mean, sure, we can get excited about the matchups and the smaller things within the event, but the whole event, it's a long event. We know it's a long event, and we purposefully spaced it out for a reason, and that is to sort of have a consistent, reliable, competitive environment for players to stay on form and have a reason to play throughout the entire year, leading us up to some bigger things later on. So yeah, I think we're happy, and given that this is something that is ongoing, people perhaps don't feel so much need to tune in every single weekend, and that's also fine. So we're happy with how it's looking right now, and if we sort of were to condense the viewer numbers down into an event like NAC, which is 7 or more days in a row, then we would see that actually the viewer numbers we're getting are pretty solid. So we'd like to see some growth. I mean, we obviously want to see growth. That's something that we will invest time and energy into doing. But at the moment, we're happy and Microsoft are happy. And obviously, we'll see how it continues to grow. So I'm looking forward to that. And like I say, the main thing is just providing a competitive environment that's consistent and players can rely on it, essentially. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
I mean, like the grand
finals.
The grand finals are going to be the most hype thing possible. Like that's going to be huge because that's going to be 3,000% effort into making it as epic as possible. So I can tell you
So
that.
much.
Yeah.
Then I better bring my paint with me to do some live graphs.
Yes, do that. And I mean, the thing is, as well, ECL has provided a great platform to build tools like analytics tools. You know, we have the stats and stuff. That's all been developed because we know, okay, we're going to have consistent games that we can run through the analytics system. The overlay system, which is being developed by Art of the Troll and Baron, Felix, you know, that's something that's really justified because it's going to be used. It's a core thing to what we're doing, and that wouldn't really be possible without the additional funding from Microsoft, you know, to give those guys some money for their time, you know, and all this stuff. So, you know, it's not only is it benefiting the game from a competitive standpoint, but we're developing other tools as well. So
okay, sweet. Don't you like that? That's a mean question, but I will still ask it.
do it.
Like, second place at the LAN finals gets what, like 2K?
Yeah, it's a smaller amount. Yeah.
And the first one gets 3K?
Uh-huh.
Don't you feel that making it that big and the biggest event that everyone will get hyped for 1K difference?
I'd like
enough?
to get more money for the grand final, to be honest. I mean, that's something that we're thinking about.
Like, my idea was still, and I think I shouldn't discuss that on stream, but just make it none for the second and 5K for first.
Yeah,
I think that makes so much more sense. But yeah, if you get 10 more K, just throw it at them, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, the thing is, there's, you know, like, having a big prize pool isn't everything, right? I mean, if we had $1 million Age of Empires tournament, sure, it's going to be super hyped. Everyone's going to be, you know, mad for it and be like, whoa. But is a $1 million tournament that much better than a, you know, 50K tournament, for example? Like,
Yeah.
is it, well, obviously it is, but like, what is the effects of it? How much more of an effect, how much more of a positive impact does a $1 million tournament have versus a $50,000 tournament?
Don't you remember the first international where there was 1 million first? Or like, wasn't it like 5 million? So 1 million for each player first?
Yeah, sure, but like they could do the
That was
international.
crazy. That was the only Dota 2 stream I ever watched. First international finals because I wanted to see a nerd get $1 million.
Well, I mean, it happens every year now, right? But
yeah,
it doesn't mean that its impact is higher than something with $1 million for first place versus 20 million or whatever it is now.
Yeah, like 5 million to 20 million. I don't know that difference, but
I'm just saying diminishing returns, right? That's all I'm saying. Like, would you rather have one tournament for 100K or 10 tournaments for 10K?
One tournament for $1 million. I think like that number is like so magic to have a headline. 20-year-old game is getting 1 million prize pool. Microsoft is back on the esports horizon. That's just so much more than 60K, which is actually like more like 150K if you get all the costs grounded.
Like, that's the problem. If you like, there's literally no economic sense to put that much money into Age of Empires 2 right now, like for a prize pool, because you're just throwing it away. Like,
agreed.
It's not economical, right? Like, if Age of Empires community was 10 times bigger, then maybe $1 million tournament would actually be viable, but it's not. And just by putting the prize pool there doesn't mean that the community in the game is going to grow enough to meet the economic requirement for that prize pool to exist.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, as far as ECL goes, yeah, we're happy with it, and we want to hype the finals up, of course. I mean, like, we realize that it's a long event, and there's a reason it's this long. And for ECL 2, let's say, we would want to condense it down and make it more intense. But, you know, we also got a lot of criticism when we announced ECL that, oh, we're taking up the whole calendar. Like, oh, that no other events are going to be able to happen because ECL is taking up too much time. Like, that's obviously not true because other events are happening and it's not, you know, maybe it's interrupting a little bit. But I personally would rather see a shorter event that is more intense, and that would be better, I think.
For me, it's impossible to plan team game tournaments. Like my tournaments, I'm talking to Robo, when can I do them? And we're always saying like, okay, that is first round of a 4v4 tournament, no chance. That's the second round of a 1v1 tournament, no chance. Like it's just it's blocking. Like it's blocking a lot of my potential dates. Like yeah, but I found a spot for
Fridays
NSC.
or Sundays.
Well, I'm a fan of weekend tournament, so like it's not like the stream times. No, I don't mind the stream time. I don't mean the stream times. I meant like the players are playing at that time. Like I have to avoid the Saturday where we are casting on ECL, and I have to avoid the 2 weeks prior because then they are playing all the games. So I can't have the players play for my tournament.
I have to kind of disagree with you there. Like it's after the first round, half the teams aren't even playing anymore.
Yeah, but the good ones are. And I want to have the good players for my tournament.
And it's like a best of 5. One best of 5 in a week. I mean, you're telling me you can't get a team to play 2 best of 5s in a week?
Compare King of the Hippo 5 to King of the Hippo 6 when it comes to signups. Like King of the Hippo 6 didn't have a single higher than 2.3k.
Yeah, but that's King of the Hippo, man. I mean, that's like, you can't really compare. They're totally different.
No, but it's like, it's an example. I couldn't do like a bigger tournament at that weekend either.
Because you can't compare King of the Hippo and say like, oh, we didn't get higher players signing up when you look at the settings and it's not like a super competitive event, right?
But why did they all sign up for King of the Hippo 5?
Well, I don't know, but I don't think that's ECL.
I know that it's not ECL, and I think ECL has the highest priority, and I completely understand why everyone is playing it. But I raised the concern very early on that it might hinder other tournaments, and I think I was right.
Okay, well, I respect that. I mean, I don't want to argue that it doesn't. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I don't see why a team can't play 2 best of 5s in a week. But I mean, maybe you disagree with that. Maybe you think that they could only play 1 tournament in a week.
I think it makes it difficult for them if they are blocked twice. But yeah, and it's like I like everyone had to schedule at the same times. Like everyone had to play on Sunday for ECL and Saturday for my tournament or whatever. Like I think we're getting out of offhand.
Yeah, ask Nicov what he thinks as a player's perspective. Can a team play more than 1 tournament at the same time?
Well, it depends. It all comes down to money at the end of the day. Especially if you have passed the 20 years. You can make AOC the biggest priority when you have to do all the stuff in real life. It's not like in League of Legends or CSGO that they can live off it, say. So, like, I don't think a Nations Cup, for example, can happen right now as long as ECL is running. Some big tournament that requires a lot of time, it's not going to happen probably.
Okay. Well, I think it's difficult. I mean, that's a larger problem, I think, anyway. I think that's a larger issue, right? Age of Empires is not a full-time job for, well, most players. And it's not a full-time job because it's not big enough to be economically viable. I mean, we spoke about having $1 million prize pool and why that's not possible because it's not economically viable. It's the same for people trying to play this game, let's say, professionally. People who make a living from this game are doing the streaming on the side. It's not like they're living off prize pools. And I don't think we can ever be in a position where people are living off of prize pools until it's large enough, as in like there are enough people in the community to sustain that.
Well, I agree on what a viewer say in this chat right now that 1v1 tournament might be possible, especially because it doesn't require a lot of time to practice and set up a different time because I don't know, it's only one player, so he can schedule with other friend or someone to train for that, then schedule for the weekend. So 1v1 long tournament, maybe be able. But team gaming looks impossible at the moment, at least for 1 year. I really don't expect that to happen.
Okay. Any more questions?
That was Talk of the
We're
Empire.
we're on a good topic though. I like these topics, right? I really like these topics. I mean, I don't mind taking some criticism because I see other points of view. I think that's important. I mean, it's not like I am solely responsible for every decision that's made regarding ECL, but it's something that I can perhaps, keep in mind, consider, and implement for next time. Like I said, personally, I would like to see ECL style tournament with much shorter time frame. We're talking like maybe 2 seasons in a year that takes up 3 months each season, let's say, and it's a lot more intense. So it's like 3 days every weekend or something. Maybe not that intense, but like I'd rather see something of this scale but condensed down. I mean, I guess that the thing is, right, if you have one event which has like 10 times more prize pool than any other event, then of course it's going to be the priority for most people.
Would you mean team game or 1v1? In that case,
Well, any, I guess.
like I say, 1v1 it can be done. You can see Hidden Cup by T90. It's been played without any issue. I think every play is not postponing the match and playing at the right time. It's not that hard, but the team game is much more difficult. Also because the games take more time on the weekend, especially with this best of 5 or best of 7. It takes many hours to play. 1v1 is usually shorter.
Yeah, it is a tricky task. I see why ECL is this tournament number 1, and I think it should be, because it is, I believe, the future to have a tournament working together with Microsoft, having all the casters there, having all the great players there, and I think for the future of the game, ECL is the dream, and we should just follow it.
Yeah, it's a priority, of course, because of the exposure, especially in the finals, the LAN, like you say, with Microsoft sponsoring. But then I don't know.
I
It should
don't.
end there. It should continue in some way.
Yeah, I don't think you give yourself enough credit, Nili, because I mean, I think NAC is huge as well. I mean, it's not the same in prize pool, but like in the actual impact it has is very large.
Yeah, probably. Like, viewer numbers were incredible, and I was super happy with NAC2, and people loved it as well. Yeah. The question Memb actually said, like, the problem with ECL is, or like with kind of all our tournaments, are that we are only addressing the top 20, top 30 players in the world at the moment. And there's no chance for like a number 60, for example, to earn money. Like, when did a player like Dracond or who else, like Spring, win money? It's just...
I mean, but that's what I mean about the economy of the game.
Yeah, it's just
you can't just increase prize pools to the point where everyone can earn money. Like, there has to be a cutoff point. I mean, you could look at any game and say the same thing. Like, oh, why is this tier 3 player in Counter-Strike not earning much? Well, it's because there's not enough money for tier 3 players in Counter-Strike to earn much.
Yeah, probably.
Right? I mean, there is a cutoff point, and when we have a smaller community, that cutoff point is higher up naturally. I mean, of course, we can design events to... I mean, okay, we could also apply this to logic to say, okay, well, why does NAC not invite these players?
Yeah, no, I included myself. Yeah, absolutely.
But like,
that's what
of
we're all
course,
doing.
you're not going to
And
invite
that
them
makes
straight
sense,
up
yeah.
because you need the viewers as well. Because if you don't have the players that bring the viewers, you don't get the donations, and you can't cover the costs of the event.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it's just too small. Yeah, I had a flaw there.
And no disrespect to you, of course. I mean, I don't blame you for doing that at all.
No, non-taken.
So,
Yeah.
It is economics, I think, in the end. And like, I would like to see in a event that sort of does cater for the up and coming players, let's say. We can't expect it to have a big prize pool necessarily.
Yeah. And I think there's also something tricky that at the moment streamers are making so much more money than players, right?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to prize money, like the biggest earners for Age of Empires are all earning their money away from tournament prize pools.
Yeah.
Well, streaming is a safer way of earning money than tournament. You don't know if you are gonna actually make fire in a tournament. Streaming is usually, I don't know how to say. It's more often, just like in Viper case, he has a constant income from his streams. He also makes money by the tournament. That's in his case. In other cases, completely different.
That's super small compared, right? He has over 2K subs at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think that should be it. I'd say maybe Nicov, some last words. Maybe you have a question to me or Zach or anything you wanted to say, or a question that you thought we'd ask but didn't.
I have some questions. We can think about them right now. I don't know. Not thinking about something particular.
Okay, then Zach, last feelings.
Have a lot of feelings. I don't know where to start.
Oh, talk
I
about
don't know.
them.
No, this well, but let's not keep Nicov here all night as well. But yeah, I could talk for hours about these things. I think it's really interesting. And but yeah, anyway, nice to have Nicov here. It's good to get some more perspective on the inner workings of Aftermath. And wish you and your team the best of luck for ECL and other upcoming events as well. Looking forward to seeing you at NAC2 next year also. That's super hype for me. Like, seriously, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. We're gonna try for that to do that.
Okay, that was the Talk of the Empire. Make sure to tune in on, I believe, AoE Zone, where Nicov made a topic that he is coaching people as well. That could be interesting for you. Have a great one, and we will all see you at the ECL on Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you a lot, Neely, for the interview, by the way. And of course, for the Neely's apartment invitation.
You're welcome.
Bye.
For the